these things are completely different, and if you actually take time to listen to what they have to say, then you'll quickly realize that in no way, shape, or form is Stavros Halkias the Joe Rogan of the left. Because for starters, Stavros Halkias is actually funny on stage. And better yet, he doesn't seem to take stand-up comedy too seriously. In fact, he thinks it's one of the lowest forms of art. And according to Stavros, as soon as you take yourself too seriously, like Joe Rogan does, then it's completely over for you.
I mean, not to say a podcast. This is my problem because I do believe in art and I do like to think about it, but what I've made my living off of is the two lowest forms of art in existence, which is stand-up and podcasting, respectively. Mm-hmm. Podcasting is the one thing where I'm like, wow, it's the one thing that's made me like, I guess stand-up's art because this is fucking bullshit. You know what I mean?
I disagree about the stand-up.
No.
I disagree about the stand-up.
It's low level. It's very low-level art. I think the job of the stand-up comic is to make people laugh a lot, and and that's it. That's actually the whole job, in my opinion. And I don't care how you do it,
sure.
Right? And so to me, it's like one step above fucking clowning, which is absolute dog shit as well. But it's like getting hit in the nuts or getting a pie in the face. It's like, all right, let's do the verbal version of that and get people laughing, And I do think there's a big problem. Once stand-up comedians believe they are important, it's over for them.
So, according to Stavros, on the ladder of performance arts, stand-up comedy is one short rung above clowning. And whether you agree or disagree with that, one thing you gotta realize is that by saying this, Stavros is directly taking a stance opposite to Joe Rogan. And if you're familiar with the way Joe Rogan talks about stand-up comedy, then what Stavros said here may actually come across as a shot at Rogan, Schultz, and Hinchcliffe and their grandiose philosophical beliefs on stand-up comedy. You see, Joe Rogan, Schultz, and a lot of the bigger names in the Rogan sphere believe that comedy is a sacred form of art, and for many years they've snobbishly spoken about the art of stand-up on Joe's podcast, which to Stavros is very cringe. Like back in March of 2023, right when Joe Rogan opened the mothership, him and Andrew Schultz were high on the smell of their own farts in a podcast that really displays their outlook on the art of stand-up comedy.
That's the beauty of like a great joke or like a great premise, is the one where it's like you almost stumble into it.
Yeah.
You're like emotionally engaged in it so much you're not even trying.
You almost have to think of it like musical notes. Like there's all kinds of musical notes. They're all good.
Yeah.
But they just serve different purposes, and to make a great song, you got to put them all together where it flows. And that's like part of what we're doing too.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to have those jokes. It's like that's how you feel.
Like people go, how do you memorize all the words? And it's like, I don't think I memorize the words. I think I memorize the song.
Yeah, how it sounds.
Yeah, and like how it feels and the rhythm of it. And I think that's why like sometimes when you like adjust to different room sizes, like your rhythm can get off, and you go, oh, I forgot that section. Yeah, because the song is different.
Yeah.
The song is slower, the song is faster.
Yeah.
How are you going to absorb that? And I was watching Ron White go up there, and that's a perfect example of just like kinetic energy. You're just watching him fuck. He's like the Black Panther suit. You know what I mean? Just like absorbing everything,
Bro.
and then push back.
So speaking about comedy like it's some sort of song and dance is actually really painful to listen to for someone like Stavros, which is probably part of the reason why he's spoken out about it on 2 separate podcasts recently. Like sure, there's a certain rhythm and pace to a good stand-up routine, but at the end of the day, Joe Rogan and Andrew Schultz make dick jokes on stage for a living. So to break it down like it's something any more than that is extremely cringeworthy. I mean, Joe Rogan thinks that comedy is such a rare form of art that he estimates that there are only 200 to 500 legitimate comics in the world.
I think there's 500 working professional headlining comedians in this country.
Yeah.
I think there's maybe 500. Maybe there's 1,000, and I think 500 of them are probably funny.
That can sell. How many can sell 1,000 seats?
A Friday night, yeah. Oh, 1,000 seats?
1,000 seats? It goes
like
down
a small
to what?
theater?
Yeah, it goes down to what? Because the
200 maybe?
Maybe 200.
Maybe.
So, on top of the fact that most people in the world think that Joe Rogan's comedy stinks, the way he talks about it, like it's some profound, enlightened craft that only geniuses like him and Schultz could ever pull off, really rubs people the wrong way, especially Stavros, whose only requirement to do stand-up is to literally just be funny. And if you've only just started listening to Stavros' podcast recently, then you might be under the impression that he's against anti-trans jokes or that he's some kind of woke comic, but at the end of the day, say to Stavros, you can joke about just about anything if it's actually funny. You don't have to be a philosopher or a political mastermind like Rogan and Hinchcliffe claim to be. You just gotta make people laugh.
And I have dedicated my life to it, and I like that it's a low-level art, and I'll never get away from it. This is my calling in life. I understand that. But I do think there's a problem when people start looking to comedians for, like, you know.
Well, that's what
I think the art form